Imagine if one of these newborns was your child. Alive, we believe, at the time the photo was taken. According to doctors at Al-Shifa Hospital, fuel for generators has run out. Babies taken off incubators, huddled together to stay warm. What would you say to Hamas, accused of using them as human shields? What would you say to Israel, who've been bombing day and night for a month?
The staff of the Shifa Hospital has requested that tomorrow we will help the babies in the pediatric department to get to a safer hospital. We will provide the assistance needed.
But what and where exactly is safer? Premature babies, kidney patients, specialist surgery. Thousands at Al-Shifa are now either being treated or taking refuge. And the tomorrow Admiral Hagari speaks of is now today.
What people don't seem to understand is that Al-Shifa is the main tertiary hospital. It's a hospital that does really complex things and no other hospitals do those things. So these patients haven't got anywhere else to go.
So in other words, the offer doesn't really mean very much.
I think any offer to help should always be taken in that spirit. But the most helpful thing would be to cease the fighting right now. That's the practical thing. It would be also what we'd like to see is the hostages returned, and the fighting to cease.
As we go to air, the Red Crescent saying Al-Quds Hospital in Gaza City is out of service. Flee down south to Khan Yunis. The bombs are falling here too. Nasser Hospital still functioning for now.
We thought that Al-Shifa Hospital was a safe place, but it wasn't. If we had stayed another 5 minutes, we would have been killed. They started to bomb us, and we ran away from Al-Shifa. My son got injured, so I left him there. I just couldn't take him with me.
IDF footage released today against an awful spreadsheet of war. Thousands of dead Palestinian children, 240 Israeli hostages still held by Hamas, which is prescribed by many countries as a terrorist organization. And tonight, what little progress had been mooted behind the scenes appears to have stalled. Hamas suspending negotiations for hostage release because, they said, of Israel's handling of the Al-Shifa hospital.
I've just been speaking to a doctor at Al-Shifa Hospital on the phone. He said that no one had been evacuated from the hospital. He said that of those very young babies you saw in the report, 2 tragically died yesterday, another one died earlier today, and he was deeply concerned that none of them would survive because they're, he said, trying to do their best and keep them warm in the operating theatre where they're being kept, but they still are unable to run the incubators that they need. Now, Israel says that last night it tried to drop off 300 litres of fuel for the hospital, and it alleges that Hamas then prevented staff from accessing that fuel. This doctor I was speaking to denies that. He says that no one from the hospital was able to go and access the fuel because he says they were too worried about being shot by Israeli forces. He also said that 300 litres of fuel would do very little because the hospital needed at least 10,000 litres of fuel to keep running. It seems there's a real war of narratives between the two sides, as well as a real and very deadly war going on.